What if everything we know about human history is only a fraction of the truth? For thousands of years, civilizations rose, built cities of stone, gold, and knowledge, and then vanished. Not destroyed by aliens, not erased by magic, but forgotten, buried beneath jungles, deserts, oceans, and time itself. History tells us civilization began around 5,000 years ago, but the Earth tells a different story. Across the planet, archaeologists are uncovering lost cities, places that should not exist, cities far older, far more advanced than history books ever prepared us for. Tonight, we journey across continents and centuries to uncover the discovered places of lost civilizations. These are not myths. They are real, and they change everything. Around 360 BC, the Greek philosopher Plato wrote of a powerful city, a civilization more advanced than any other. He called it Atlantis. According to Plato, Atlantis existed over 9,000 years before his time, a vast island empire, rich in metals, architecture, and knowledge. But in a single day and night, Atlantis disappeared beneath the sea. For centuries, scholars dismissed it as a metaphor, a warning story, a philosophical lesson. But modern discoveries suggest Plato may have been describing something very real. In 1968, off the coast of the Bahamas, divers discovered something strange, a perfectly aligned stone structure stretching nearly half a mile underwater. Massive limestone blocks arranged in a pattern that looks eerily artificial. Some scientists say it's natural. Others say nature doesn't build straight roads. Carbon dating of nearby materials suggests the stones could be over 10,000 years old, older than any known civilization. Coincidence or evidence of a forgotten age? Yonaguni Monument, Japan. Thousands of miles away, beneath the waters of Japan, lies a submerged stone complex. Terraces, steps, sharp angles. Structures that look carved, not eroded. If Yonaguni was built by humans, it would mean advanced civilizations existed before the last ice age, before history began. Atlantis may not be one city, it may be a memory of an entire lost world. High in the Andes Mountains of Peru, hidden above the clouds, lies one of the most breathtaking cities ever discovered, Machu Picchu. Built by the Inca civilization in the 15th century, yet constructed with precision that modern engineers still struggle to explain. No mortar, no wheels, no iron tools, yet stones weighing over 50 tons fit together so perfectly that not even a blade of grass can slip between them. Advanced engineering. The city is earthquake-proof. Its drainage system handles massive rainfall. Its astronomical alignments track solstices with incredible accuracy. This wasn't a primitive society. This was high science. Yet the city was abandoned before the Spanish ever arrived. Why? No signs of war, no signs of destruction, just silence. Machu Picchu wasn't lost because it was destroyed. It was lost because it was hidden, protected, and forgotten. In the deserts of Jordan, carved directly into rose-colored cliffs, stands a city that seems impossible. Petra, built over 2,000 years ago by the Nabateans, a civilization of traders, engineers, and architects. They carved entire temples, tombs, and theaters directly from solid rock. Water in the desert. Petra's greatest mystery isn't its beauty, it's water. In one of the driest regions on Earth, the Nabateans built a complex system of dams, canals, and reservoirs. They controlled flash floods, stored rainwater, and supported tens of thousands of people. Then, earthquakes struck, trade routes shifted, and Petra faded into legend, lost to the Western world for over 1,000 years until rediscovered in 1812, a city swallowed by sand and time. Hidden beneath the jungles of Cambodia lies the remains of a city so vast it rivals modern metropolitan areas, Angkor. At its peak, it covered over 400 square miles, making it the largest pre-industrial city in human history. Rediscovered by technology. For centuries, Angkor was believed to be just a collection of temples, but modern LiDAR scanning revealed the truth. An entire urban grid, roads, canals, neighborhoods hidden beneath jungle canopy. The Khmer civilization mastered water management on a massive scale, but climate change, long droughts followed by catastrophic floods, overwhelmed the system. Even advanced civilizations are vulnerable to nature. In modern-day Pakistan lies a city that challenges everything we believe about ancient technology, Mohenjo-Daro. Built over 4,500 years ago by the Indus Valley civilization. Shockingly modern, grid-patterned streets, multi-story buildings, public baths, advanced sewage systems. Every home had drainage. Some had indoor toilets. This level of urban planning wouldn't reappear for thousands of years. And yet, we don't know who ruled them. We don't know their language. We don't know why they vanished. No signs of invasion, no weapons, no palaces, just a civilization that quietly walked away. This discovery shattered archaeology. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey, dated to 11,600 years ago, built by hunter-gatherers, according to history. But hunter-gatherers were never supposed to build massive stone temples before agriculture. The stones weigh up to 20 tons, carved with animals, symbols, and abstract art. No writing, no metal, no farming, yet incredible organization and planning. This site came before civilization and may have caused it. Göbekli Tepe suggests religion came first, then cities, not the other way around. For centuries, the Amazon was believed to be untouched wilderness. That belief was wrong. Using satellite imagery and LiDAR, scientists discovered geometric earthworks, roads, canals, entire settlements. An advanced civilization once lived in the rainforest, managing soil, forests, and rivers. Millions of people, gone, swallowed by jungle. Lost cities don't vanish because they were weak. They vanish because the world changes. Climate, earthquakes, floods, human choices. Civilizations fall when they forget balance. We are not the first advanced civilization on Earth. We are simply the latest. And one day, our cities too will be ruins, buried, studied, questioned. The lost cities are not just history. They are warnings, and they are waiting to be remembered. When we imagine ancient cities, we think small. Stone walls, narrow streets, limited reach. But hidden beneath the jungles of Cambodia was a city so massive, so complex, that it rivaled modern metropolitan areas. Its name was Angkor, and for centuries we completely misunderstood it. The civilization of the Khmer Empire. At its peak, around the 12th century, Angkor was the capital of the Khmer Empire. This was not a minor kingdom. It was one of the most powerful civilizations on Earth.
Angkor supported nearly 1 million people at a time when London housed fewer than 50,000. Let that sink in. A city hidden by the jungle. For hundreds of years, explorers believed Angkor was just a collection of temples. Beautiful, yes. Impressive, certainly. But limited. They were wrong. In the early 21st century, scientists used LiDAR technology, laser scanning from aircraft, to see through dense jungle canopy. What they discovered changed everything. The shocking LiDAR revelation. Beneath the forest was an entire city grid. Roads, residential zones, water reservoirs, canals, agricultural fields. Angkor wasn't just a religious center, it was a fully planned megacity, one of the largest in pre-industrial human history. The water machine. Angkor's true genius wasn't stone, it was water. The Khmer engineered a massive hydraulic system. Artificial lakes called barays, thousands of canals, flood control channels. They controlled monsoons, stored rainwater, redirected floods, fed crops year-round. This wasn't ancient luck. This was environmental engineering on a continental scale. So why did Angkor collapse? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The system worked until it didn't. Decades-long mega-droughts followed by catastrophic monsoon floods. The water system, once Angkor's strength, became its weakness. Channels eroded, reservoirs failed, food production collapsed. Within a few generations, the city was abandoned. No invasion, no apocalypse, just climate instability. A warning that feels uncomfortably modern. If Angkor shows us how cities fall, Mohenjo-Daro forces us to ask, how advanced were ancient humans really? The Indus Valley Enigma. Mohenjo-Daro lies in modern-day Pakistan. Built around 2600 BCE, that makes it over 4,500 years old. Yet when archaeologists uncovered it, they were stunned because it looked modern. Shockingly advanced urban design. Mohenjo-Daro featured perfect grid-pattern streets, standardized brick sizes, multi-story apartment buildings, public baths, advanced drainage systems. Every house connected to a covered sewer system. Wastewater flowed away from homes. This level of sanitation wouldn't reappear in Europe until the 19th century. The Great Bath. At the center of the city lies the Great Bath, a massive waterproof structure, perfectly sealed, likely used for ritual purification. But here's the mystery. No temples, no palaces, no statues of kings. This civilization did not glorify rulers. Power may not have been centralized. A civilization without war? Excavations revealed very few weapons, no massive fortifications, no evidence of large-scale warfare. This suggests something extraordinary, an advanced civilization that didn't rely on conquest. So what destroyed it? The silent collapse. No burn layers, no mass graves, no invasion evidence. Instead, gradual abandonment, shifting river patterns, climate change. The Indus River slowly altered course. Agricultural systems failed. Trade collapsed. People didn't die. They left. Mohenjo-Daro wasn't destroyed. It was abandoned, and its knowledge was lost. For centuries, the Amazon rainforest was believed to be untouched wilderness, a pristine world never shaped by civilization. That belief was wrong, dangerously wrong. Early accounts ignored. When Spanish explorers entered the Amazon in the 1500s, they reported vast settlements, roads, farms, millions of inhabitants. Later explorers found nothing. Historians dismissed the reports as exaggeration until technology proved them right. LiDAR changes everything again. Modern satellite imaging and LiDAR scanning revealed massive geometric earthworks, raised roads, defensive ditches, artificial islands, planned settlements, hidden beneath thick jungle canopy. Civilizations once thrived here, not small tribes, large, organized societies.
Terra preta, engineered soil. Even more shocking, Amazonian civilizations created terra preta, artificial, nutrient-rich black soil. This soil is thousands of years old, remains fertile today, was intentionally engineered. They didn't destroy the rainforest, they enhanced it, a model of sustainable civilization. So why did they vanish? Disease. European contact introduced illnesses that wiped out up to 90% of indigenous populations. Cities emptied, forests reclaimed the land. Within generations, entire civilizations disappeared. Not because they failed, but because they were never recorded. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, on a remote island near Micronesia, lies one of the strangest cities ever built, Non Madol. A city on the sea. Non Madol is made of over 90 artificial islands, massive basalt stone columns built directly on coral reefs. Some stones weigh 50 tons. No cement, no cranes, no metal tools, and no clear explanation. The engineering mystery. Basalt columns were transported from miles away, over water, without wheels, without animals. Local legends speak of sound-based levitation, lost technologies, knowledge from a vanished age. Myth or misunderstood science? Abandoned without war. Like so many lost cities, Non Madol was abandoned. No signs of destruction, no clear explanation, just silence. As different as these cities were, they share haunting similarities. The pattern is clear. Across continents and cultures, lost cities show the same signs: environmental stress, climate shifts, resource mismanagement, social complexity outpacing stability. They didn't fall overnight. They faded, slowly, quietly. The illusion of permanence. Every civilization believed it would last forever. Angkor's engineers, Indus Valley planners, Amazonian soil masters, all wrong. History doesn't erase cities suddenly, it buries them patiently. For thousands of years, the city of Troy existed only in poetry, a place of gods and heroes, of Achilles and Hector, of a war sparked by love and ended by deception. Most scholars believed Troy was a myth until it was found. From poem to proof. In the 19th century, an amateur archaeologist named Heinrich Schliemann took Homer seriously. Against academic ridicule, he excavated a site in modern-day Turkey. What he uncovered stunned the world. Not one city, but 9. 9 cities, one name. Troy was built, destroyed, and rebuilt again and again. Each layer represented a different era. Walls, houses, weapons. This wasn't legend. This was history buried in layers. Troy VI and VII, the real war. Archaeologists believe the Trojan War described by Homer likely occurred around 1200 BCE. Evidence includes massive defensive walls, signs of fire and destruction, weapons embedded in buildings. But the war wasn't about love,
It was about trade. Control of the Dardanelles. Troy sat at a strategic choke point between Europe and Asia. Whoever controlled Troy controlled maritime trade. The Trojan War was likely an economic conflict, romanticized into myth. History didn't exaggerate Troy, it simplified it.
In southern Africa stands a city built entirely of stone. No mortar, no cement, no written records. Its name is Great Zimbabwe, and its story was nearly erased. A city denied. When Europeans first encountered Great Zimbabwe in the 19th century, they refused to believe Africans built it. They claimed Phoenicians, Arabs, biblical figures, anyone but Africans. Why? Because the city contradicted colonial assumptions. The reality. Modern archaeology confirms Great Zimbabwe was built by Shona ancestors between the 11th and 15th centuries. It was the capital of a powerful kingdom, population up to 20,000. Architectural mastery. The great enclosure's walls reached 36 feet high, built with millions of precisely fitted stones. No mortar, perfect curves, lasting centuries. This was not primitive construction. This was engineering excellence. Trade across continents. Artifacts found at Great Zimbabwe include Chinese porcelain, Persian glass, Arab coins. This city was part of a global trade network. Africa was not isolated, it was connected. Decline and abandonment. Resource depletion, climate change, shifting trade routes. The city was slowly abandoned, but its legacy remains, written in stone. Before the pyramids of Egypt, before Stonehenge, before writing, there was Caral, an impossible age. Located in modern Peru, Caral dates back to 3000 BCE. That makes it 5,000 years old as Egypt's earliest pyramids. Yet, almost no one has heard of it. A city without war. Caral had monumental pyramids, sunken plazas, residential districts, but no weapons, no fortifications, no evidence of warfare. This civilization focused on trade, music, astronomy, ritual. A complex society built without violence. Knowledge over force. Flutes made from bird bones, astronomical alignments, advanced agriculture. Caral thrived through cooperation. Then, it faded, possibly due to climate instability. Once again, nature had the final word. Off the coast of India lies a discovery that blurs the line between myth and archaeology, Dwarka. The legend. According to ancient texts, Dwarka was the golden city of Krishna, a magnificent metropolis swallowed by the sea. For centuries, scholars dismissed it as mythology. The marine archaeological discoveries. Marine archaeologists discovered stone walls, foundations, roads, anchors beneath the ocean. Some structures date back over 3,500 years, others may be older. Debate continues, but one thing is clear: an ancient city lies underwater. History books may need revision. Lost cities didn't just look inward, they looked up. Alignments across the world. From Stonehenge in England, Chaco Canyon in the USA, Teotihuacan in Mexico, Machu Picchu in Peru, cities were aligned with solstices, equinoxes, lunar cycles, and star constellations. These were not coincidences, they were calculations. Knowledge without telescopes. Ancient civilizations tracked planetary motion, the precession of the equinoxes and solar calendars without modern instruments. They observed, they recorded, they remembered. Lost knowledge. When civilizations collapse, knowledge collapses with them. Libraries burn, oral traditions fade.
What we call primitive may simply be incomplete memory. Modern society assumes progress is permanent. Lost cities prove otherwise. Advanced does not mean immortal. Every lost civilization believed it was advanced. So do we. Every lost civilization believed it had solved survival. So do we. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. 30 miles northeast of modern-day Mexico City lies a place even the Aztecs feared. A city so vast, so carefully planned, that its true builders remain unknown. They called it Teotihuacan, the place where gods were born. A city without a name. When the Aztecs discovered Teotihuacan around 1400 CE, the city was already abandoned. They did not build it. They did not know who did. They believed only gods could have created something so immense. Monumental scale. At its peak, Teotihuacan housed over 125,000 people. It covered more than 8 square miles. Its main avenue, the Avenue of the Dead, runs for over 2 miles, aligned not to true north, but slightly off, intentionally. Pyramids of the Sun and Moon. The Pyramid of the Sun is one of the largest pyramids ever built on Earth. Constructed around 100 CE, it contains over 1 million cubic meters of material. No beasts of burden, no iron tools, no written language, yet flawless geometry. Mercury beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent. Recent discoveries beneath the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent revealed something shocking: liquid mercury flowing beneath underground tunnels. Mercury was incredibly rare and toxic. Why place it there? Some scientists believe it symbolized rivers of the underworld. Others suggest lost technological rituals. We don't know. And that's the most disturbing part. A city abandoned without explanation. Around 550 CE, Teotihuacan collapsed. Evidence suggests internal unrest, fire in elite compounds, possible rebellion, but not invasion. The people didn't disappear, they scattered and took their knowledge with them. When Americans think of ancient cities, they rarely think of North America. They should. The city beneath the Midwest. Near present-day St. Louis once stood Cahokia. Between 1050 and 1350 CE, it was the largest city north of Mexico. Population estimates range from 20,000 to 40,000, larger than London at the same time. Monk's Mound. At Cahokia's center rises Monk's Mound, a massive earthwork, taller than the Great Pyramid's base, covering 14 acres, built entirely by hand, basket by basket. Sophisticated society. Cahokia had planned neighborhoods, Woodhenge, a solar calendar, trade networks reaching the Gulf of Mexico. This was not a tribe, this was a civilization. Sudden decline. Around 1300 CE, Cahokia collapsed. Possible causes: deforestation, flooding, climate cooling, social unrest. Once again, environmental imbalance meets human complexity. The city emptied. History forgot it. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean stands one of humanity's most haunting mysteries, Easter Island. The Moai statues. Nearly 900 massive stone statues, some weighing over 80 tons, carved by a small island population. How? Why? A civilization in balance. For centuries, the Rapa Nui people thrived. They managed resources, they organized labor, they honored ancestors. Then something changed. Ecological collapse. Trees disappeared, soil eroded, food sources declined, competition replaced cooperation. By the time Europeans arrived, the society had collapsed. The statues remained, silent witnesses. A microcosm of Earth. Easter Island is not just a mystery, it is a mirror, a closed system, limited resources, clear consequences, a warning written in stone.